Hi, everyone. I am writing a book. I'm pretty excited. I've got about, I don't know, 3 or 4 chapters written so far and an outline. But today I want to share with you the foreword that I've written so far, and I'd like your input, please. The working title of the book is called Twice Upon a Time: The Unspoken Stories of Grandparents Raising Their Grandchildren. This book wasn't supposed to exist. Not because it doesn't matter, but because the path that led to it wasn't part of any of our plans. I never imagined I'd be parenting again in my 50s, not after raising my own kids, not after finally reaching the season of my life where the house was quiet and plans for retirement were being discussed over coffee or a glass of wine in our quiet living room. And yet, like an increasing number of grandparents, I answered that knock at the door. In my case, it was figuratively. Well, for some, it's quite literally a child in crisis, a call that couldn't be ignored, a moment that changed everything. Before we get any further, there's something you need to know. I'm not a social worker or a lawyer or any kind of child protection professional. I'm also not a clinician or a psychologist or a therapist. I'm a grandparent, one who found herself unexpectedly raising a child again because my grandson's biological parents are living with the complex impacts of addiction, trauma, and mental illness. I am a grandparent. I am a parent. I'm a grand raiser. And looks like I'm an author. I sit down to write this book not as some sort of expert writing about you, but as someone with lived experience. Someone who has stumbled through grief, made imperfect choices, wrestled with guilt, and kept going anyway. I'm writing about us. I'm sharing bits of my story because I know that there are thousands of others walking a similar path, often in silence. And I want them to know they're not alone. There's a village, and that village is growing. And it's time we started talking about it. This book is part story, part guide, and all heart. It's not a memoir, but my personal story and my heart is woven throughout the chapters. It's written for the grandparents, great aunts, uncles, older siblings, and kin of all kind who have had to step up and step in, often suddenly, often without support. But mostly it's written for grand raisers like you and me, grandparents raising our grandchildren. You won't find perfect answers or professional advice here. What you will find is truth telling, connection, and reflection. You'll meet people here, composite voices from folks that I've met along my journey, who've wrestled with shame, anger, tenderness, loss, and quiet grace. I think you'll find yourself in these pages. You'll find space to breathe and to name what has been unnamed for too long. And maybe if I've achieved what I've hoped to, you'll also find permission to feel everything, to honor your own story, to find pride in what you've built, even if it was never in your blueprint, to celebrate the beautiful life you are creating now and for generations to come. My deepest hope is that you will find joy. This book is one piece of a larger conversation, one that, in my opinion, is long overdue. It's not just about raising children the second time around. It's about reclaiming dignity, about visibility, about recognizing that kinship caregivers are rewriting generational stories in the face of trauma, loss, and systemic failure, and doing so with a fierce love and resilience. We may not have chosen this role, but we are choosing to rise within it. Welcome to GrandFamily World.